dragons. And junk drawer. Hello. We're
Good
back.
evening.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
What's
It's
up?
nice to see everyone.
Oh no, I hit a button. Now I can't see the screen.
What did you do?
I fixed it.
Oh, no.
I pressed the other
Sorry,
screen.
it's our first day. It's our first day.
Yeah, we've never done this before.
No.
First time.
COVID
How
did a
do you
lot, changed a lot of things with this stream.
Yeah, now
Lot
we
of things
use
changed.
2 different browsers instead of 1. But I don't know if you'll get to see it because I don't know how much battling we're going to do. I'm rambling. How's it going, everyone? Normally this is where Pat would pick it up, but he had some life stuff happen, so it is just the 4 of us. Hope everyone's doing okay. I don't know what he normally says.
Oh, he usually does shoutouts. So Carlos, why don't you hit us up with some shoutouts, my guy?
Hi,
Because you're usually first.
Sure. I'm going to shout out Random Encounter Productions. Go check them out. They're right now, currently, for the past 4 weeks, been doing their Streamageddon, where they've been trying to have some content every night. And then they've been hosting us as well, which is, they have been very gracious. You can check them out at Random Encounter Productions. On Twitch, it'll be Random Encounter Prod, Prod. Everything else is the full word production, whether it's Instagram, YouTube. I think they're starting to put some of the episodes into podcast form, so you can even check them out on like Apple Podcasts and all that stuff. Like, I don't remember all the medias, and I don't want to say the wrong ones, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. So check them out when you're not watching us. Thanks.
That's fair. Yeah. Big props to Random Encounter Productions. Let's turn it over to Michael Spillane. What shoutouts do you got, my guy?
Michael's what my mother calls me, and I'm usually in trouble if I get called that. So no,
How do
thank
you not
you.
know you're in trouble right now?
Oh, shit.
I checked my freezer. Why are the Hot Pockets gone?
Because I am a masochist, and I wanted to burn the roof of my mouth so that I could feel something.
Well, we haven't taken the quiz, Mike. Don't jump.
You'll hear about that on a different episode. So shout outs from my side. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at The Junk Drawer Show. We usually post highlight clips on there. Subscribe to us on YouTube, again, The Junk Drawer Show. And of course, if you're here, follow us. And if you love us even more than just a follow, subscribe to us here on Twitch. It's helping us raise the money to get ourselves an Elgato, so that way we can make our stream better for you. Outside of that, though, the only other thing I'm going to shout out, we have a couple other series that we're working on right now. I believe we just had the 3rd episode of Road to Freaks come out, which is a series that Justin and Josh are currently working on, where they're recreating, or not recreating, but revisiting Justin's senior project, so that way we can make a sequel to it. Which will be really cool. And then we just found out a new thing on Twitch today is that we can do watch parties with us doing like live commentary through things that are on Amazon Prime. So if you're a Prime member and you got something that you want us to commentate on, make sure to toss that in the chat, so that way we can go ahead and do something together and you can watch us just be idiots, because that's what we do best.
All right, and then I'm gonna throw it to Josh because I want to be last. Josh, what shoutouts do you have?
My shout out is to exercise-induced asthma. Exercise-induced asthma, making me feel like a nerd since 1992.
And I believe you have a tradition of what do you usually say, Josh, if a particular person is watching?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Donovan. Love you. Fuck you.
Eat shit,
Also,
Donovan.
I just saw in the chat, Justin, we are not doing a live commentary of the Serbian film.
I know.
Go fuck yourself.
I know. Don't look at the chat. You're supposed to be focusing, Mike.
Got him.
So it's basically my shout outs are, I just want to go over once again all of the wonderful people that I have had the privilege of using their product or even gotten to talk to. I want to thank Mythic Portal Games for any of the temples that we've used previously. Don't think we'll see any of that tonight, but definitely want to give them a shout out. Printable Heroes, they do paper minis. They're really awesome. Kev's Lounge, custom paper minis, which are even more awesome. And then, of course, David Hemingway, who makes beautiful town maps and cave maps and prison maps, all those kind of fun maps. And speaking of maps, if we get to it, I also want to shout out Incarnate. If you have a world you want to build and want it to be high quality, check out Incarnate. Other than that, this is episode 19 of question mark. We don't know how long this is going to go. I'm rambling now. And then I'm going to do the take it away, DM.
Take it away, DM.
Thank you. Okay, so last we were together. We were in the Temple of the Abbey of Opportunity. We're in the basement where Alder relayed to the rest of the party that there was something amiss going downstairs. Eventually, you were able to kind of wake up and conscious eyes and shake Rosalie kind of awake and focused, where she basically just wailed and felt this immense guilt. Eventually, you guys were able to go into the back room of the temple where you saw a massive pool of just blood after inspection, which after close inspection, you saw teeth and hair. And then you went down to the basement and you saw kids that were chained to the sides of the temple walls, where all of them had raspy throats. Thok saw a very old friend of his all the way from session 1. And overall, it was just a bummer episode. So we ended it with all of you in the silo, just going to sleep, trying to figure out what the next day is going to bring you. So we'll take it from early moments in the morning. Drummel, I'm going to assume you're going to get up while everyone's asleep and you're going to go out to meditate by yourself. Is that valid?
Pretty accurate, yep.
Okay. So usually around like 5 a.m., right before the sun kind of comes up, you sit down, you refocus, all the messed up things that you've seen and heard and things that have shaken you to your core as a person. You're able to recenter, look at yourself before you recenter, and then it's almost like you're looking at a completely different person as you're ready to take on the day. Thok and Alder, are you guys doing anything in particular in the morning?
In the morning, Alder most likely would just try and probably wake up a little bit early and see if he can do anything to kind of help prepare anything for the kids to make them more comfortable. Like if there is, if Wymer had brought anything over to assist with maybe meals or anything of the sort, he would try and help get that prepared. So that way the kids could hopefully have something to eat in the morning when they wake up.
Okay. So, yeah, you kind of sit with Wymer, and Wymer says what they're going to do. It's mostly this kind of oatmeal rice kind of paste. There's plenty of it, and it's filling. It's hot, but it's not the best, but it's definitely a form of sustenance. So it's very familiar. It's almost like slop, but it's actually better than slop. But you're able to kind of help, and you're able to distribute evenly, and you're checking on everyone. And Thok, what are you doing?
I would shine my armor. Like, I would normally clean my armor in the mornings right before the sun would come up. And then I would normally wear it to do my prayers with the sun. But I'm going to just look at it and pack it away because I'm just like not thinking about that right now. But I'll still go out and look off into the horizon as the sun comes up, but not do my usual, like do my usual prayers, but not really. Like my head is still kind of thinking about the day before.
Right. Okay. So you kind of just sit and you're very disturbed, obviously, by what you saw. The the thought of your god not reaching out or telling you anything or warning you or giving you any direction has been all but frustrating, I assume. So you take the first few hours apart. Donner is off doing his own thing, whether that's drinking in the bar or wandering in the woods. You're not really entirely sure, but you see that seeing all those kids really messed him up and made him very uncomfortable. So he dipped. So after a few hours, you three kind of reconvene back in the silo. Yeah, and what are you talking about?
as I come in, I kind of not ignore the two of them, but they're just not my focus. I'm very focused on the
Right.
fact that these little adults are still reeling from what I think was 6 months of torture. So I start trying to do little like illusion shows, little tricks with my
Mhm.
mage hand and whatnot.
Okay. And so you're able to entertain. You're able to show different illusions and different fireworks, kind of similar to what you did before with the constellations. Um, and the children seem very pleased with that. They're very excited. It looks like it's the first time they've seen joy in quite some time.
Out of the 70, how many have smiled?
Out of the 70, I would say a good portion. There are occasional like little older kids. You could see like 10 and 12 where they seem like you have their attention, but there's just kind of nothing going on behind the eyes. Like they're not really focusing.
To those kids, I'd make the mage hand do a middle finger.
And as you do that, they let down their guard and they kind of some of them chuckle, smirk, occasionally like cover their mouth and look around to make sure they're not in trouble for laughing. As yeah, you basically you're just juggling, being a court jester, just trying to anything to make their hearts less heavy. Thok and Alder, what are you two doing?
I mean, honestly, I would have probably, while I'm cleaning up and probably talking to Wymer, I probably would have noticed Dremel did that and gotten a little kick out of him giving the finger to the kids and seeing that make the kids lighten up. So I probably would have gotten a chuckle out of that. But I'd honestly would like to try and talk with Wymer a little bit to see if he has a plan of what we're going to be able to do with these children.
Okay. So you're able to kind of approach Wymer, whether you're preparing the food or cleaning up after everyone, and you ask him, inquire if he has any kind of plan, and he looks at you and he goes, "70 kids is a lot of kids. Not all of them are going to be able to have homes. I mean, not a lot of adults here as well. I mean, we could try to double up, certainly, but that might leave some odd 20, 30.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else we can do. I don't know where to send them. If we have somewhere we could send them.
I mean, closest town would be White Willow, and I don't know if they have room.
I know that we're going to be heading back there.
Okay.
Because the entire reason we came here, and then I point over to Rosalie, is her wife sent us to get her and her daughter because she's like, they've been gone for 6 months. They shouldn't have been gone for that long, and that's the entire reason we came here. So we got to go ahead and try and bring them back. But I'll see if we could find anyone there who could possibly take on some people.
Yeah.
One of our guys, Thok, and then I kind of gesture over to Thok, and just to get his attention and be like, he can, once we get there and get some information, he can send a message to you. I don't know if you've ever had anyone do that before, but you'll
Not
be able
entirely.
to, you'll hear him in your head and you'll be able to respond. So,
Understood.
once we get, obviously we're probably going to head out there soon. So probably 2 days time.
2 days time. And there's no
By
way
the-
you could have a small party of at least a few of them.
That's something that I'm just not sure about. I can maybe work with Thok to see if we can try and reach out to some of the people from White Willow and see if we could find somewhere, if there's anyone there who might be able to help.
How
think
long
I'll
have you
go.
been doing this, Alder?
How long have I been doing what?
Like this, saving people.
Well, let's see. not necessarily people. I used to do a lot of, I guess you could say, eco-liberation, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And then that got me into a good deal of trouble, and now I'm here. So I would say this is probably my real first time ever doing anything that's saving people.
That's fair. The reason why I ask, I mean, I know elves live a long time. Why do you think she's still alive?
Why do I think who's still alive?
And he's gonna look over at Rosalie. All those women, and she's the only one left? I don't know, just all the women have been gone. Except her. I don't know why.
And then I would kind of think I'd be like, well, were all the other women that were in town, were they all straight?
He's gonna cock his head and
I don't know entirely. That's none of my business.
I mean, it's none of my business. I mean, love who you love. That's what I've always said. But I know that she's married to another woman. The fact that she was married to another woman might be the reason that she was alive. She wasn't a threat to whatever Liliandra was because she wasn't interested in the men.
I mean, that's more common than you think.
I mean, at the same time, though, it's a pretty small town, isn't it?
Not always.
I don't know. It's the only thought that I have, but it's definitely something worth trying to get some more information about. Why
Just-
her?
Just curious.
Yeah. No, if I had more information, I'd tell it to you. But as of right now, as soon as I walked into this town, I was pretty much just kind of under the spell. So, and then we haven't spent much time from last night to this morning to actually ask questions and try and get more information.
Fair enough. And he kind of just smirks and continues washing. I got the rest of these. You go figure shit out with your friends.
All right, Wymer, thank you.
You got it.
So I guess from there, Alder's going to go ahead and walk over to Thok and be like, first I would notice that he's not wearing his armor yet, correct?
I would say so, because he's never really been seen without it on, besides in the prison.
Gotcha. And I'll basically just walk up to him and be like, trying out a new look?
Yeah, I figured after the things we defeated, the succubus and all whatnot, that this town was pretty safe, so I didn't think I would need it as much.
Oh no, I understand. I think we're in relatively good shape. I mean, mine's light, so like it's not inhibitive or anything for me to have it on. So I get it, you know. But I got a favor to ask.
What's up?
So I talked with Wymer, and because of the fact that they don't really have a whole lot of people in this town left that can really take on any of the kids, he mentioned the possibility of seeing if anyone in White Willow could maybe help with some of them. I think our best bet is going to be to reach out to Ashiki, see if he knows of anything, see if we can maybe bring a small party with us to see if we can have someone in White Willow help. I know you've got a little bit of an attachment to the one girl, but I'm just not sure on what to do.
We can ask uh, Rosalie's wife and Rosalie to see if they would mind looking out for her while I find our way back to find her way back to Flamingo Bay. And once we find Flamingo Bay, it should be easy to get her back to her parents, back to her mom. So we can ask Rosalie, but do you know how many kids this town can hold? And potentially how many homes we'd have to find?
I mean, he said if they were to double up on some of the kids, they would probably still be about 20, maybe 25 kids left over. So maybe
Okay.
reach out to Ashiki, see if they're able to help and how many they could accommodate or how many he could accommodate, and we'll see if we can get some more information from there before we start heading that way, because based on what Wymer said, he's going to need some extra help. Unfortunately, they just can't take everybody because there's too much loss that they've experienced. And I think now we also have to maybe ask Rosalie a couple questions as well.
Yeah. Well, we can do. How far away was White Willow again?
Since we traveled by horse, it was about a day and a half, 2 days travel.
So we'd have to consider how many kids can we take at once and safely relocate if there even is somewhere for them. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. Once we finish here with breakfast and such, I'll reach out to Ashiki and stuff and see if there's potentially homes for 20 some odd children to be relocated to White Willow.
Yeah. No, and hopefully, I'm sure we could also talk to Wymer, see if maybe they have like a cart or something we can affix to the horses. That would likely make our travel a little bit easier. I'm not sure if Manu's horse is anywhere around here. An extra horse might be helpful too. But I don't know if that's something that you'd be okay with.
I mean, a horse is a horse. I'll see if I can spot it.
It's hard to miss.
Isn't it all black?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out.
Trem, what you doing, bro?
Still doing the show for the kids. I think seeing them talking, I assume that they're trying to figure out everything that's been going on. I've been keeping an eye out. So I'll wrap up the show and I'll say, and that, kids, is why you always leave a note. And I'll walk away. And I walk up to these two and I say, so what's cracking, fellas?
Not your jokes, that's for sure.
Man, you just don't get it. You don't got that 12-year-old humor like I do.
Same,
Age like whiskey, not like I'm 12 years old. It's fucking...
You're right.
You seem reasonably more chipper this morning than you were yesterday. That's good.
Yeah, man, that was the old Dremel. This is the new Dremel. The new optimistic, sorry about what he said yesterday Dremel. And I don't know. We just got to keep moving forward. We got 70 little adults here, and we got to do what we can to make sure they grow up into big adults.
That's correct. That's what I talked with Wymer about a little bit this morning, and I just talked to Thok here. They think they can house most of them here, but the downside is there's just not enough adults and people in this town to house all of them. So we're gonna try and reach out to Ashiki, see if maybe he knows if White Willow Plaza could possibly house some of these, as you say, young adults.
Little adults.
Little adults. Sorry. My apologies. House some of these little adults to help them grow big and strong.
How many is a few?
Probably about 20.
20. Oh man, yeah. Fuck. White Willow's not that big.
Neither is Sun Gulf.
We're able to take 50 here.
And that's if they're doubling up on households.
DM,
Because most
Do I remember approximately how many, like in relation to Sun Gulf, how big is White Willow?
White Willow is, I would say, slightly bigger. It's a lot more rural because it is a trade kind of spot. So it's not a lot of big buildings. There isn't a temple there. Like it's just very in and out lodging is at the tavern. It's bigger, but it's not as developed.
Right. Okay. 20.
20.
20 kids. And Dremel at this point is getting visibly worked up.
Got it.
Why don't we Rosalie knows the town, right? And we want to have a few words with her anyways.
Well, yeah, talking with Wymer, he kind of made an excellent point as to why was she the only woman left?
Because she was gay.
Well, that's what I said. But he said that he tried to make the point that that's not as common as a thing as people think. So I almost think it's worth maybe asking her a little bit of questions, but obviously, like, let everything kind of simmer down for a little bit. Maybe not until we get back to White Willow.
Don't succubi powers work on whoever's attracted to them?
That's what I thought.
So, like, I mean, she was as powerless as the rest of us.
Trying to recall back, was she kind of like in the same mindset as all these guys during this whole time? I didn't.
That Rosalie was.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll a intelligence check to see.
Oh.
You really brushed off Rosalie during the temple stuff.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a minus that. Yeah, no, that's a 7.
You're not entirely sure. You don't. Obviously, there was some kind of charm on her, but you don't know if that was the reason why there was a charm.
Got it. So do we just want to have breakfast, have some words with her, or I would prefer not to have conversation with her in front of her daughter.
Right.
That way we're not making it awkward.
Definitely. No, I would definitely say that Holly should probably, go run along with some of the kids. Maybe you should plant the seed of her being friendly with, I think you said her name was Nalra.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're going to ask if they could look after Nalra.
Yeah, maybe when we talk to Rosalie, I'll just ask if it's okay for Harley and Nalra to go play together, get to know each other a little bit, and then we can continue our conversation.
I think that's a good idea.
Thok/Carlos, have you told us this story about Nalra?
I think all you know is that because you would see me close to her, I think I would tell you that I ran into her at Flamingo Bay and give you a quick rundown of how I met her and how I was supposed to meet up with her the day I got arrested.
Gotcha.
But it never happened because I got arrested.
I think you did actually make mention of that to us at one point last week.
I think I did too.
Okay.
But yes, so you know that there's some connection, and like I do feel some form of responsibility since I know where her home is.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Just wanted to keep up.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm not the most charismatic of sorts, so I don't know how to start that conversation with Rosalie.
Well, I mean, I don't know where Donna's at right now, and he's at least got those baby blue eyes. But Dremel, I would say you're probably going to be the most charismatic of the bunch.
Oh, stop. Is she around right now?
Yeah, I would say she's probably like really next to Harley. Like she's attached at Harley's side.
How far away from me is she right now?
I would say like if you guys are in the middle of the room, she's kind of still on that awning I kind of talked about, where it's a little bit more separated. Um, so I mean, she's up. You would have to go up a ladder to look at her,
So
but
is that like 20 feet away?
yeah, I'd say like 20 feet.
All right, then I look up and I yell, "Hey, Rosalie!"
And she looks down and makes eye contact with you.
Hey, does your daughter want to hang out with Doc's daughter? And I point to Nolra, assuming she's around.
And she asks Harley, she's like, "Do," and you see Harley kind of nod and her eyes kind of light up, and she slowly starts going down the ladder and kind of goes up to Nalra.
Considering everything.
Hey, you cut out for a second. What happened after she started going down the ladder?
She went down the ladder, and her and Nalra are speaking. Unfortunately, you can't hear much because their voices are still strained and raspy. But they look excited, like they know each other for a while, and it seems like they're having a nice time.
Seeing that, I look to Alder and Thok and I say, "Ask and you shall receive."
Thanks, Don. Dremel. Thanks. Should we go up there to talk to her, or should we ask her to come down for a sec?
I think we should all go up there. That way, we're kind of a little bit further away from everybody, a little bit more removed.
And she can still keep an eye on Harley.
Exactly. So let's go up.
Yeah.
Dremel, you come?
Right behind you.
Okay. So in other words, you just go up like one step and you're already there.
Yeah, I can just jump it, honestly.
You're gonna jump it?
No.
Please not jump it.
No, please
No,
don't.
I could, but I won't.
Ew.
The whole silo implodes.
Somehow I rolled a negative one.
Okay, so I mean, one by one, you kind of climb up the ladder, and the platform's fairly large. It looks like there's like a makeshift like bedroll. It's not the best, but it's definitely accommodating. As Rosalie is now not wearing the leather number, it looks like she's wearing something more modest. Just some kind of clothes she was able to kind of put together, like a collared shirt, trousers, boots. Kind of has her platinum hair kind of pulled back in a short ponytail as she kind of looks at you, and she's sitting at the with her back kind of to the silo. What's all this then?
Well, I talked to the barkeep here, Wymer, and they think that they can help a lot of the kids here. But
That's good.
they don't think they can accommodate all of them. Obviously, we're going to assist you and Harley getting back over to White Willow Plaza. Do you think that there might be people in White Willow who would be able to accommodate some of these kids? Because by the looks of it, a lot of them are, frankly, orphans.
And she kind of thinks thoughtfully, and she goes, "Well, there's the priest. I'm sure he'd be accommodating. I know Trem might be able to help. Ruben, despite being drunk, I mean, feels like he might have room. I mean, they might be able to accommodate. It's a fairly big city. It's just underdeveloped. It's a trade town. It's not really made for large gathering of people that are not moving to and from there."
No, I understand. We have, I mean, including Harley, there's about 70 children. They think that they can take on probably about 50 of them here. We just basically need to know if we have a few people in White Willow who could take on potentially some of the other kids, at least temporarily, until we can maybe find more homes for them.
And she thinks, Mhm.
We were planning to reach out to Ashiki, who's the priest, as you said. We were planning to reach out to him before we started to travel to see what he thinks he can do or what he can ask around about. But we just wanted to try and talk to you a little bit about it first, because obviously we were there for maybe 2 days. So you obviously have more knowledge of what you think the town can handle.
I think 20 children will be interesting, but I think it can be handled.
That's good.
Do y'all
good.
have supplies to build up? You clearly have the manpower. I saw the fighting pits.
Yes, we definitely have the manpower. If anything, we could put up tents where the fight pits are. I mean, there's no shortage of supplies. I mean, they could definitely reach out and see if there's anything that can be sent to them to accommodate. It's just interesting thinking of White Willow becoming possibly an orphanage.
Yeah. It's never a fun thought, but
But it would mean the world to us and the children. It gives them a chance for the small adults to grow up to be big adults. And I'll glance over to Dremel.
and I give a smile back.
I mean, it's the least I can do. I'm sure they'll be more than accommodating. Ashiki is a very kind man.
I have, if you don't mind me requesting one more request.
Sure.
It's the little half-orc girl, Nalra.
Yes, your daughter.
She's not my daughter, but I do know where she's from. I do know where she lives. However, I need to figure out how to get back there. So, would you mind watching over her until I'm able to reconnect her with her family?
I could do that.
Thanks. I have the ability to communicate over great distances, so please don't be alarmed if I check in on her every now and then. It'll be a voice in your head that you can reply to.
Okay.
So, and I'll keep you in communications with what's going on, and once I find her parents, we'll figure out a way to reconvene and reunite them.
That's fair. Understood. No, I can look after her. It's the least I can do for you all, especially now that I have Harley back and I have Grace back.
She'll be very happy to see you.
I will be very happy to see her as well.
So, question for you. Slight.
Sure.
I'm sorry if I'm forward asking this, but what makes you so different that Liliandra, instead of getting rid of you, kept you?
I don't know. My memory is still hazy. I remember bits and pieces. I remember arriving with Harley, discovering a new town, and it just was so wonderful here. And I completely just forgot my daughter altogether. She was an afterthought, if not even an afterthought in between afterthoughts. She wasn't a priority. It was only that thing.
That was not your fault. You do know that.
I know. I don't know why. I'm not anything special. I'm human. I'm not even like a succubus or a demon or even an elf or orc or cow person.
Furbolg.
Sorry, Furbolg. I'm just a person. Just Wesley.
No, that's honestly what we thought. When I was talking to Wymer, I kind of assumed that the reason that you were basically under the spell was similar to the reason that we were under the spell is, we were attracted to women, you were attracted to women, so therefore you come under the gaze of the succubus and you get trapped in that enchantment. The only thing that we found about it that ended up being weird is rather than just being in the town, it almost seemed like, I guess you were kind of like a disciple working for her in the abbey, that's the thing that like kind of throws it off a little bit. That's why we're asking.
Right. I'm sorry, I don't know.
It's okay.
Must have been your piano playing skills.
They were very good.
Thank you. I haven't played piano since I was very young. So I don't know how much of that was muscle memory or how much of that was her. I can't describe it, but having someone claw in your brain is so unpleasant, and it's
The biggest form of personal invasion you've ever experienced?
yeah. I don't know what memories are mine or what she might have put in there or plucked out.
Well, ma'am, we are more than happy to play detective.
Well,
With her mind.
Yeah, mind cop.
Wouldn't that seem like something that Donna would want to be interested in? We might have to put that on hold for right now.
Oh, I'm not saying now. This is planning for a future adventure of ours.
Gotcha. I was gonna say Donna's a bit of a mind cop.
I'm just saying, Rosalie. We know what it's like to have someone inside your head, and if we can do anything to help, we want to.
no, I greatly appreciate that. And she starts, crying a little bit, stifling it down. She's just like, it's just hard. And I wish I could remember the past 6 months. Because I don't remember a lot before that. I don't remember my wedding day. I don't remember Harley when she was born. It's just blank. I remember I played piano, but everything is like underwater. And you're underwater and you're looking up and you can see the images of the skies and the trees. But it's distorted and you can't really make out the images.
If you don't mind, you said you remember your childhood, learning to play piano.
Bits and pieces.
What's the last thing you remember, and then the first thing you start remembering again?
I remember approaching the plaza, Sun Golf. And then I remember fire and his body on top of mine. There are bits and pieces in between of the past, you said 6 months. I've been gone.
6 months.
I get bits and pieces, things that I've done, things I'm not proud of, that I have had a hand personally in orphaning some of these children. But it wasn't me, it was, I I remember doing them, but I don't remember wanting.
It's okay.
And you see her, and she gets kind of flustered.
It's okay, Rosalie. Trust me, we understand. But you mentioned not remembering your wedding day. Like, how far back do these gaps in memory go?
I I remember being a child to an extent. I remember walking down the steps and putting my hand on the handrail, and I remember how that felt. But I don't remember my first birthday or my third, fourth, fifth, 12th, 16th. There's just chunks just gone.
Well, back
Oh,
to you.
no, go ahead.
um,
Mine
the
was
good
a
thing
stalling
is that
tactic.
you no longer have to worry about any missed time because it's all over, at least here. You can start focusing on making new memories with your daughter and your wife.
Right. Yes, I do have to focus on that. And she kind of puts her chin to her knees and kind of just sits for a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm not that much help.
No, it's. Thank you for
You,
entertaining us at least.
honestly, you're more of a help than you realize.
Well, if you have any other questions, I can try.
We appreciate that. But I think we are. I mean, I don't speak for everyone here, but we are going to start to make some communications and then get ready to head back to White Willow soon. So,
Yeah.
And I'm coming with you now.
of course.
It's up to you. I wasn't.
I would like very much so to get out of this fucking town.
Of course.
Trust me, I know that Gracie wants nothing more than to see you.
Which I should send her a message, right?
I think
guess.
I think she'd very much like that if you did, honestly. Um,
Um,
just since we're going to be reaching out to Ashiki as well, if you have the capacity to reach out to both of them, I say go for it. And I'm
Yep.
sure Rosalie would like to hear what Gracie has to say. Like, obviously you won't be able to physically hear her; she'll be in Thawk's head, but
Right.
I know she'll be excited.
Anything you'd like us to tell her?
yeah.
Just tell her that I'm sorry I've been gone for so long and I miss her. And to apologize that I don't know if I'm gonna be 100%, but I still love her. Something like that. I don't know how far the influence goes.
You got all that, Doc?
Yeah. I got it.
Well, we'll leave you be for a little bit. Thog doing his his messaging thing can get a little eerie. Don't think we want to subject you to anything more about that.
No, I appreciate that.
Hang tight, Rosalie.
She kind of nods.
You know, we'll be getting on the road soon.
And
Should we plan on trying to get on the road today, or should we plan this out and do it tomorrow?
Have we
I mean, we
walked away?
definitely.
Oh, I would have said that if we walked away.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah, not in front of her.
Yeah, and then I mean, we definitely need to speak to Ashiki or someone from White Willow first. I think before we just show up with a bunch of kids to dump on their lap. But I think the sooner we can get on the road, the better. Hopefully, get some new, better memories in everyone's heads as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Speaking of memories, y'all still have yours, right?
As far as I can tell.
Mine is totally intact.
Because I do too.
You?
Yeah.
She.
And I'm curious why Rosalie does not.
And she also said something that I wanted to ask her more about, but maybe I will on the road. I don't know if you guys heard her say when you asked her, like, the last thing that she remembers. She arriving in Sun Gulf, there was fire, and I think she said his body on top of hers.
Oh, I thought she meant Manu when he was in trance.
I mean, unless she,
That's what I thought too.
or
Was
unless
it
she was talking about Thok protecting her. I'm not sure,
Well,
because Thok was draped over her.
yeah, I think the point I'm getting at is maybe Wymer's onto something.
No, I don't doubt that. It's just I honestly, this is I'm just gonna say it as straight as I can. I'm not smart enough to figure out what it is right now. There's a lot more questions that have to be asked for us to figure out what the fuck messed with her head to the degree that it did.
Yeah, assuming it's still her.
I hope
That's what
it
I'm
is.
trying to get at. I mean, it seems like a sloppy transplant sort of cloning job. Or if cloning's not a thing in this world, a homunculi.
A monkey? What's a monkey like?
Homunculi.
I mean, well, monkeys are pretty great, actually. Thok, I'll show you some.
Shit, not am I the smartest guy in the room?
You probably are. I'm sorry. I didn't study or go to school or anything of the sort. I was raised by fishermen. Like,
Hey, why don't?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, speaking of smartest guy in the room, why don't you get maybe I don't know if you need it, but that headband that we found, maybe give that to Thok. That might be able to help him a little bit.
Oh, I'm already wearing it.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, it's on my head right now.
I don't need it. Well, that's why you're the smartest guy in the room. The help of an
I probably should have
enchanted
gestured to
headband.
that.
That's right. Forgot how we divvied it up. My bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have it. I have it all right here.
The headband of intellect is like Josh's glasses. If these come off, I become dumb as fuck.
Yeah, because do you want me to just tell you who got what?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Dremel has the headband of intellect and the shield of missile attraction. Alder, you have the ring of warmth and the bracers of archery. Donner has the figurine of wondrous power, a silver raven, and the iron bands of Belaro. Belaro. I was gonna say it in Spanish. I almost went Belaro.
Belaro.
But speaking of, since we were on the topic, I know why I wasn't affected by the charm, and I think y'all have added two and two together as well.
Yeah, because you're gay.
Yes, Dremel. Thank you.
Dremel, you're toxic. You can't out someone.
He already told us.
I told you out of game. I didn't tell you in game.
No, I'm saying we figured it out, and none of us care.
I mean, as I said to Rosa, or actually no, I was talking to Wymer when I said this. I was like, "Love who you want to love, man.
Yeah,
It's
and
not for me to decide."
And if you decide that you like having somebody watch you, hit me up.
I'm glad that the offer still stands, whether the gender is either or.
I mean,
Yeah, man,
It's
love.
it's slightly like endearing at the same time, kind of creepy, but also intriguing. So I'll take you up on it if the time comes.
Yeah, man, no pressure.
Everybody needs coaching sometimes. I mean, sometimes, you don't know the motion of the ocean, but you're a boat captain. You should figure that all out.
Oh, that was totally a lie. I wasn't lying. Yes, like I've never had sex with a woman. Yes, no, but I've had sex. Like I don't need any demonstration or explanation or any of the sort. So, but thank you. But
So when you're on a boat and you're having sex, do you have to time it your thrusts with the motion of the ocean?
I mean,
Tell
that's
you-
where the phrase comes from, doesn't it?
You know that makes sense.
it all depends where you're having sex, but I guess.
Yeah,
Oh,
we said
but
on a boat.
Like where? Where exactly on a boat do you whatever have sex or anything?
You know what? If we ever get back to the horizon, which is my boat, I will just point at places and just say there, there, and there.
Yeah.
And you'll understand what I'm saying, but nobody else will. How about that?
Yeah,
We're gonna hold you
that
to
sounds
that.
good. That sounds good. If you could write those down too, that'd be awesome.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
All right, cool.
I'm not
thanks.
sharing some of my favorite places, though.
I mean, it's your boat, and I think Dremel's trying to become Eskimo brothers with you based on locations.
He's trying
So-
to rock my boat, is what he's trying to do.
What? I would never. And I look to see if Thok is like excited about the idea.
Is Doc
roll my
excited about
eyes.
the idea?
No. It's a 3. No.
Yeah, no, that'd be awful. That'd be terrible. And I kind of, like when a dog puts his hand or his face
Yeah.
into his paw, I kind of start doing that, just like looking around.
You withdraw a little bit.
Yeah, that was a dumb idea that I didn't really think was good.
No, there's no dumb ideas. It's just it's not you. It's
Yeah,
me.
no, you said enough.
Yeah,
That's fine. I get
Okay.
it. I'm ugly.
You're you're not ugly. Let's change the subject. How about that? Like, how about let's not talk about who I find attractive and who doesn't. To you,
Yeah,
like,
so-
yes or no? Check
You
one.
guys ever have sex in a tree?
Oh yeah. Usually watching, but
It involves some goggles of eagle sight.
oh, I'm from a mountain, man. There's trees everywhere.
I can't say I have, but that's okay. So I should probably go and message what's his face, shouldn't I?
Yeah, we got to reach out to Ashiki and to
Race.
Percy.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess this is as good a place as any. Like, right?
Yeah, might as well.
So
Yeah, just
let
don't
him
freak
know
out the
that.
kids.
I mean, are we around the kids?
I don't know. I'm not sure where we're at right now.
I would assume you guys climbed down the silo, but you're still in the silo.
So you're just having that,
So
that sex
arguably
talk in
having
front
a
of all the
very
kids.
graphic sex conversation amongst 70 children.
In all fairness, after what these kids have experienced, this is the
Let's go
least like traumatic conversation they've ever heard in the past like 6 months.
They were in a cave. There was not a lot going on in there. They could hear noises, but
They'll just ask what is sex and can you have it in a tree?
It's a type of popsicle.
oh my god.
So yeah, so I guess let's step outside and not have this sending message here with all the little ears listening, little adult
Yeah.
ears, small adult ears. Sorry.
Where's Wymer right now? Is he in the silo or is he back at his place?
I would assume he's back at the inn.
Which is pretty close.
It's like a 20-minute walk.
20 minutes.
It's on the other side of the town, dude.
That's fine. Okay.
So you're gonna start walking to Wymer.
Yeah. I'm going to say, all right, you guys handle the message. I'm going to go talk to my best friend Wymer.
Your breast friend.
My
Your
breast
breast
buddy.
friend.
We're going to touch nips.
Sounds good, but just be careful. He might ask you for some money with all the drinks that you bought for everybody.
Shit, that's a good idea. I'm going to pretend I don't have any. And if you guys say anything otherwise, I will punch you in the mouth. From 20
Go
minutes
on.
away.
So in 40 minutes, you'll punch us in the mouth.
Yeah, plus like however long it takes for us to talk.
Okay.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Okay. So we will, as pitter patter, Drummel starts going to the inn. So Thok and Alder, are you particularly going to the side of the silo? Are you trying to find some brush or some trees? Where exactly are you going to send your messages
Yeah,
out?
I just want to step out away from the children. Like, I don't want to go too far. I just don't want to be in earshot.
Yeah, so we're out of earshot and that they don't see anything weird.
Okay.
Okay. So, what should I tell him? That we reached White Willow.
Or
It was
Sun Gulf.
Fuck. We reached
Sun-
Sun Gulf.
Sun Gulf is one word, so remember that for your counts.
Perfect. We reached Sun Gulf. It was taken over by succubus or demons. Which one would you prefer?
I think the correct term that they mentioned was Archdevil.
Archdevil. She has been expunged. We need safe housing for at least 20 orphan children. Is that 25 words or less? Sure. I'll count them when I actually say them.
Yeah, I mean, if you start running out of words, just say, "We need your help." And then obviously, if you have to cast it a second time, then we have to cast it a second time.
So be it. Yeah.
Yeah, because you already have to cast it twice to send one to Gracie as well.
Correct. Potentially 3, because I don't think everything that I'm going to tell Gracie can fit in one message. So, yeah.
If you
so
have
I'll
to
go ahead.
paraphrase, you have to paraphrase. So just keep that in mind.
Okay. Then I'll cast Sending to Ishiki
Okay.
and say, "Hi, Ishiki. This Thok reached Sungulf, was taken over by Archdevil. She is gone. Need help finding homes for at least 20 orphan children. Thanks. If I have an extra word in there, thanks."
I think you
I
do.
think that was 25.
Okay. So takes a moment and you hear back, "Oh dear. I see. That's quite the predicament. I am sure that we can find something for all of them. How far out?"
Alder, this is what he said, and I repeat that to him. So what, potentially 2 days? Like, it took us a day and a half to get here on
Yeah,
horse.
I would say 2 to 3 days to be safe, just since we will be traveling with a much larger group and
slower pace.
probably a slower pace. Obviously, we'll still have the horses with us to keep us ahead of the game, but it's probably not going to be, still will not be as fast.
So I'll let him know potentially 2 to 4 days. But that sounds like a good time frame.
Yeah.
Oh, that was to Alder, but
Oh, that's all there. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, no, I heard a voice in my head from a guy named Dice Daddy. He said, "Yeah, that's a good idea. That sounds right."
got it. So
Don't know
Dice
who he
Daddy's
is.
not real.
Maybe I'll start praying to him and I'll get supernatural powers like you.
not are so much supernatural as they are divine. I mean, you have some pretty interesting powers yourself, mister.
Yeah, the wilds are pretty cool.
They've never been a fan of me, but it's all good. The sea's been pretty good to me, though.
Hey, that's why I want to get to the sea. I want to see some new things so that way I could try and summon some real cool shit.
It's if you have never been to the sea, just wait. In the meantime, I will cast Sending back to Ishiki and say between 2 to 4 days, we are finalizing plans now, potentially leaving Sun Gulf by the end of today or tomorrow at some point. I'll end the message at there.
Okay. A few moments pass. I can prepare best I can. I know we have some extra tents and sleeping bags. More importantly, did you find her?
Alder, when he means did you find her, was that Rosalie?
I would assume he means Rosalie and Harley.
Yeah. Yeah, he just asked if we found her. I don't want to leave him hanging, but at the same time,
Yeah.
I want to message Grace, which I can. I'll be able to do. I can still do this a few more times.
I would just say that, yeah, we found her. She's definitely shaken and might be a little bit different from this experience. We can explain more when we get there.
Good.
So that way
I'll
he
gather-
knows that the conversation has to end, Unless you want to
Got
ask
it.
him to go to Gracie to let her know. So that way you don't have to.
message her.
But then again, you did say you would send specific things for.
Yeah,
Rosalie, so.
I told Rosalie I would. Okay, so I'll message one more time and say, yes, we found them both. Rosalie has been through a lot. She will need time to recover.
We will explain when we get there.
We will explain more when we get there. Perfect. 25.
It's 25 on the dot.
Okay. And takes a few moments. Did you mention the Archdevil?
Yes.
Yes.
The previous message.
Right. I will.
Or the first message.
Got it. I will start preparing everything I can. And you mentioned Archdevil. I will look into that as well. Also, I have your map to an extent.
Well, the good news is he has our map to an extent. He's going to be looking into the Archdevil. So yeah, so that's a win-win.
Well, I mean that's just good to know because I know that's one of the things that we were really worried about is whether or not that was going to be finished. So
Yeah.
that will hopefully help us get to Flamingo Bay, or wherever the nearest port is, so that way you can meet up with the Horizon. But now I think it's time for the emotional message. So good luck with that one. I'll be right here for emotional support.
Thanks.
I'm
So-
not good at that, by the way.
While you prep that, we'll go over to Pitter Patter or Patter Pitter Patter Pitter.
Thud, 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 thud.
Thud, thud, thud.
Better.
Your feet are long. It's stupid. So
You
eventually
can't ring that bell.
you eventually get back to the tavern. It's fairly empty, and you actually kind of see Donner slouched over a cask of ale that he's just kind of putting back onto the counter. Reload, and you see Wymer doing it and pulling it back. Reload. As you kind of sit down.
As I see that, I'm not actually going to sit down. I'm just going to put my hand on his shoulder and say, you all right there, buddy?
Yeah, I Yeah, it'll be fun. Just thinking about stuff. It was a lot of heavy things, man. So just trying to recenter myself.
I can see you've done that about 5 times already.
Actually, 7, but I can't really count that high.
Proud of you, man. Well, just don't forget. You got 3 other drinks in your party that are happy to help you recenter yourself. We're the drinks.
And he goes, "Oh, all right, got it."
Yeah.
And he kind of just smirks and sits back.
I'm saying you can talk to us if you need to.
It's fair.
Like we have ears and cups don't. So, where's Wymer?
Weimer's just kind of going back and forth, and you can see him behind the bar. And Donner kind of takes his cup, refills it, and he's like, I'm gonna go for a walk. Like, I'll be back."
Yeah, man. All right, lucky number 8. Miss you.
And he opens the door and closes. And Weimer comes back. He goes, "Drummel, it's good to
Wymer.
see you."
Is he not doing it back?
I'm not.
All right. Hey, I'm just gonna cut to the chase. Alder mentioned that you were questioning why Rosalie might be why she was so special, why she wasn't also killed like all the other women.
Yeah.
Do you remember everything while you were entranced?
It's kind of like a haze, but in the regards of everything was just really nice. You know, we had females come to the town, and it was nice to have them there, but then they just kind of disappear. And it was nice to have business come in, and it was nice to see different adventurers who are also enjoying the town. I mean, I remember mostly everything. It's kind of in a haze of everything was super positive when things were really fucked up.
And you remember everything before too, right? Your history, your childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she don't. I wasn't on your
Okay.
side until I heard that, and that was a bit of a red flag for me. I don't know what it means. Um, Maybe a clone, if that's in this world, or a homunculi, if that's in this world.
What are you getting at?
I'm getting at that I think you might be onto something, and I want to find out. But you're the only one who seems to have any idea.
It's just it's just bothering me. That's all. Like, there were like 5 of them, right? And then there was her. And from what you've told me over the course of last night, the original 5 were just really fucked up. They weren't even human. But she's human. Or at least she appears to be human, or else I'm assuming she would turn into a fucked up thing too.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't know how stuff like that works, magic. I'm just saying maybe she plucked shit out of her head and threw it away.
Or maybe she put stuff into her head. And that's not the original Rosalie.
So you're thinking she's like a copy.
Yeah, like a clone, if that exists in this world. Or a
You
homunculi.
keep saying that. I don't know what?
Yeah, I was waiting for confirmation. Thank you. Homunculi, does that exist in this world?
And he kind of looks at you and he's like, "I'm sorry, I don't know what that is."
Yeah, copy.
Okay.
Like maybe
So
she's a made up rag doll with fake memories.
I see. So you think You think Rosalie's that?
I I don't know what to think. All I know is that you saw a red flag and you brought it up, and now I see it too.
So the bigger question is, what are you going to do with that information? You're going
Fuck
to
if
try
I
to
know.
ragdoll her?
Shit, man. What I'm worried about. I've been having a lot of ideas now. I got this new hat. What I'm thinking, wouldn't it be the perfect plan to fake your death and send your emissary out to another town?
Okay.
We're trying to get these kids back to, or at least some of them, back to White Willow Plaza. We don't know what happened to those kids, and we definitely don't know what happened to Rosalie. Maybe there's something sleeping within them that we just haven't seen yet. And if they start dispersing out into the world, it's gonna be Sun Gulf, but unstoppable.
So you're thinking that she's Rosalie. She's the beacon and she goes town to town?
A beacon, a vessel. I don't know. I'm spitballing, man. I just
So you think the is still alive, but she's in her? Like dormant?
maybe a piece of her. I mean, she doesn't have memories. We all have memories. We were all ensnared by the same charm. Why is it different for her?
That's what I was asking. So not only did she survive, but she's the only one who's been affected memory-wise at this town, if I'm catching you correctly.
All that I found so far. To be fair, I've only asked my group and now you.
Kind of nods. I don't know. It just be careful. You know,
Careful's my middle name.
it's a weird name.
It's not. That was a lie. I'm sorry.
Can I get you a drink? I feel kind of useless just making food, and there's no one in here anymore.
Yeah, I'll take a drink if you have one with me.
And he pours this kind of green alcohol in this little glass. Don't shoot it back. This is sipping. And brings up the glass. You kind of clink. And it's strong. It definitely burns going down, but it's not to the extent of where you start coughing and you can't hold it, but it's there.
Whew, that's like drinking straight fire, man.
Yeah. Figured been needing it. At least for now. Maybe I would like to forget some shit.
Yeah, man, I think we all would. But I'll be careful, but if you learn anything, think of anything new, just reach out. I'm not sure how soon we're leaving. It all depends on the logistics of it all, but I'll be around, and if not, just, I don't know, write a letter, throw it into the wind, hope for the best. There's this dumbass black bird that keeps following me around. So if you see one of those, there's a pretty good chance that it'll find me.
A black bird.
Yeah, his name's Paul.
Does he talk?
Not to me.
I will be sure to ask any black bird I come across if they are Paul.
All right, cool. He's real big too, so he'll stand out. Don't ask like the little tiny birds. It's got to be like a foot or something.
A foot.
Yeah, it's a big ass fucking bird, bro.
All right. I will keep an eye out for big ass fucking birds.
All right.
He does it back to you.
Is he within arm's reach?
I would say so. I mean, the table isn't too wide.
All right, then I'll reach out, put my hand on his shoulder, and I'll say, "It'll get better."
Yeah. It's just going to take time.
I I stand up and I say, can I take one more for the road?
And you see him, and he fills the glass up maybe like halfway. It's a tall glass. Savor it.
Wait, like a pint glass?
It's like like a Collins glass. It's like a tube, tall and skinny.
Okay. Yeah, then I'm not going to shoot that. So yeah, I'll just take it with me.
Yeah, don't shoot that. Okay. So as you begin to leave, Thok, it is time for the mushy stuff. What are you doing?
I will cast Sending
Okay.
to Grace and say, Grace, this is Thok. We have found Rosalie and Harley. They are okay. Just emotional. Returning to White Willow Plaza in the next couple days.
There's a moment, and as her voice kind of comes in, you hear in the back kind of like shattering. And you hear her go, ah, shit. Holy shit. You found them? And they're okay. What? I have a lot of questions. That's the end of the message.
Oh, did we lose Doc?
Oh,
Did we lose you?
He did say he was
Oh.
having issues. Oh, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back, but all I heard was, "Ah, shit."
Yeah, she.
Very fitting.
You heard like a ceramic like hitting tile. Oh shit! Holy shit! You actually found them. Are they okay? I have so many questions right now. They're alive though, right?
And I will reply. Sorry. Yes. Rosalie apologizes for being gone so long. She loves you. And she might need some time to heal emotionally. We'll explain more in person.
Good.
And
I've been
goes,
typing them out and word counting, by the way.
No, that's good. I understand. Harley's alive, and that's what really matters. I was very concerned for a bit. She can take all the time she needs.
And I will tell all that to Alder. Say, okay, that was hard, but heartwarming. So
Oh, we got it out, and then I'm gonna. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I will let her wife tell her that she's potentially feeding one more mouth, but that's not for me.
Well, I mean, I think we kind of all discussed. I don't know if we discussed as a whole, but I know the way that I kind of feel is I don't want to take Grace's money for what we did. We found money. We'll be all right for a little bit. I don't think we need to take that money from her.
I agree. We can talk to Donner and Dremel and just verify that everyone's cool with it, but I agree. This was a lot bigger than we expected.
Yeah.
Lives were lost, and I do not feel it's in my best interest to collect that money.
I agree. And then I'm assuming before we go back in to try and rally the troops and figure out what we're going to do, I'm just going to kind of like convey to Thok that there's a new thing that after this battle that I think that I'll be able to start doing. I don't think we can start doing it now, but I might be able to, in a sense, teleport us from place to place.
Like a magic circle?
Yeah, but I mean, you got to remember, I'm not a magic circle kind of person. I'm more of Earth is really cool. So
That's
I'm
right.
just gonna try and find a real prominent, like, large tree in the area of the town, just to try and get a feel for it. So that way, if we do ever need to come back here, can make it a lot quicker than one day or a day's travel. Can make it instantaneous.
Okay. Um, you do whatever you need to do.
Cool.
I guess. I don't understand nature magic very much, but you seem like you know what you're talking about. So yeah, you do that.
I'll t- and then I'll just go ahead and, like, I'm gonna just cast Druidcraft in my hand and kind of put together like a little flower and just be like, "Nature's cool, man," and hand it off to him.
Thanks. I'll take the flower and I'll walk off. And when I find Nalra, I'll give her the flower. Like the first time we met.
You eventually you're able to find her, but we'll get to that. Because Dremel, you're kind of on your way back over, and you see Alder and Thought conversing on the side of the silo as you kind of thump back over.
Yeah.
Not saying anything.
Oh no, I thought there was something else coming.
No, you just kind of walk up. Give me 1 second. I gotta close the door.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming this is before I find Nalra. This is in between me leaving Alder and finding her.
Oh, I think I see both of you, so I'd imagine you're still standing next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So, um,
And
yeah, so I walk up and I just kind of I don't really say much. I walk up sometime in the middle of where you were talking, probably about your tree thing, and I'm just standing there, waiting for my turn to talk, like a good old boy.
and then I'll be like, once we get to the end of that, I'll be like, did you get that, Drem? Or do you want me to go over any of that for you?
Yeah, tree teleport, got it.
Hopefully it works that way.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Narnia.
like what?
Don't know what that is.
No, it's like this whole boat that I saw. Just takes you from one place to another. It's a teleport, but it's wood, so it used to be a tree.
No, you're thinking of the word transport. Boats transport, not teleport you.
Oh shit! Yeah, what are you talking about?
Like, what I could do, hopefully, is use my ability with the wilds to basically kind of open a portal, essentially, in a tree, so that way we could all go into it, and then if there's another tree that I've, like, know well and have been around, we could come out that other tree. So basically, once we go back to White Willow Plaza, there's a tree here that I'm gonna commune with. I'll find a tree in White Willow Plaza that I could commune with. I could teleport us from walking into that tree, coming back out here. So that way we don't have to travel for 2 days' time.
Yeah, so like a magic circle.
Yeah, Thok had mentioned that. I'm not as familiar with that, but yeah, I think that's how that works.
And I look at Thok and say, why doesn't he just say magic circle? Why does he have all this tree shit?
A magic tree circle, I don't know. Sure. Like, hey, as long as it gets us from point A to point B faster than the speed that we've been traveling, I don't care what the hell he calls it. He can call it a chipmunk for all I care.
Like, sure, the tree thing's cool, but I don't know. In my head, we're
Okay, well-
walking away.
I've
Yeah.
never done that. We'll find out.
So, I mean, it takes you a little bit, but you guys are able to get back to. Are you heading back to the silo?
I am.
Okay. So by the time you get there, you do see Naldra, and she is with Harley, and they're just kind of playing. Once again, it's more the small kind of speaking voices because of the harshness. But you kind of kneel down and you produce this flower that Alder created, and she just lights up And you see her, and she puts it behind her ear, and she just beams at you.
So, is Harley there as well? Like, they're just playing.
I would say Harley's there as well, and she's kind of looking, and she's smiling at Naldra and you, and you can't really hear what she's saying, but they giggle a little bit, like they've been talking about something that you don't have any knowledge of.
Got it.
Kid stuff.
Cooties.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get it.
Right. All right. Yeah. Then I would just, I guess, finish eating breakfast. Like, if we're still doing that, like, or I don't know.
I would assume that you've already finished breakfast, but
And-
I mean, if you would like to finish the rest of the slot, you most certainly can.
Nah. I'll start packing my shit so at least I'm ready while we start preparing the town for everybody else to travel.
Okay. Okay. Anything else you guys are doing before you set out?
I do want to ask Alder, if you can do this tree transport, there's no need for us to bring the kids with us.
There still would be, because as of right now, I'd only be able to do it once a day.
Yeah?
So
How long is it going to take us with a caravan of 20 kids?
well, that, and also, this is more of a DM question, and I'm assuming it's going to be based on the way he's ruled before, is that since this is a new ability that I have, I likely would not be able to do it since I didn't have knowledge of it previously. So in other words, I'd have to get acquainted with another tree in White Willow Plaza first before I would be able to perform this ability.
Yeah. That doesn't change what I'm saying, though. If it's going to take us 4 days with all these people, there's no why don't we just go real quick, 2 days, get back here, and then go again with all the kids?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could just go, the group of us, and then come back. But that's my thing, is without going there first, I won't be able to do it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and
Like-
building upon that, we go there first. You find a tree here before we leave. Get there, find another tree, then come back here, and then we bring the kids back on the tree.
Regardless, it's going to take the same amount of time. They're just not traveling the entire way. The kids are just fast traveling to White Willow.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever tried to caravan 20 kids. It's not easy.
Well, the only other thing that I will put in here as it being difficult is that the spell will only last for 1 round. So I don't know if we'll be able to get all of the kids through. Like, obviously, 1 round, it's only going to last for a few seconds. The portal's not open for an insane amount of time. So I worry that we won't be able to fit them all through in one shot.
Real quick, I want to DM question that.
Yeah.
Like, what are the logistics of this spell? Because I'm trying to avoid having 20 kids run through a forest for 4 days.
Right. And this is tree walk?
So yeah, no, this is not tree stride. What I'm talking about is transport via plants. So the spell creates a magical link between a large or larger inanimate plant within range and another plant at any distance on the same plane of existence. You must have seen or touched the destination plant at least once before. For the duration, any creature can step into the target and exit from the destination plant by using 5 feet of movement. Costs 1 action to cast. Duration is for 1 round. And it covers like a 10-foot span within like a tree or something.
Okay. Let me see real quick. Yeah, it would be a 6-second thing.
It's trying to organize 20 kids into 6 seconds to get through to run. Say, hey kids, run into this tree. I don't know how
I'll
well
hold
that'll
them.
work.
I'll hold them like this.
Well, some of the younger or older kids can potentially carry some of the youngers, maybe.
Maybe, or if we have a caravan, like, is it only creatures that can go through?
That's what it says, is for the duration any creature can step into. So I would assume that it would have to be a creature, and which likely means no to a cart or something along the lines of that. But that's a rule for the DM. So, that was another thing, Justin, is I was assuming that even though I've seen all the plants around White Willow Plaza, and I probably would know of stuff, I'm assuming that you wouldn't, based on things you've ruled before, you would want me to reassess that in order to let this work. So
Yeah, I mean, you would have to find a big fucking tree.
Like a 10-foot tree.
10-foot tree, yeah.
But I mean, you're more than welcome to try to do it.
I mean,
I guess hop back into character. I'm just saying, I don't remember what trees were back there, but there's plenty of them. I feel like there's one that's wide enough that if we just get a good timed out run and start, we can just jet. Again, have you tried corralling 20 kids through a forest?
I've never tried doing anything with 20 kids, so no, I don't know what that would be like. But no, I'm not saying it's like it's going to take the same amount of time either way, because what's going to happen is we'll get there in day and a half's time. We'll get back, and then we'll teleport back here, wait a day, and then teleport back. We could definitely do that, but like I said, it's just going to have to be have to try and get everyone through quick. That's the only thing.
Well, I think that's the way to go. Granted, you know about your tree circle more than I do, but I would hate to lose any of these kids in the forest.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I guess we need to go update the plan and let Rosalie know. Do we still want her to come with us on this first trip, or?
I think she can come with us.
I think at best,
right?
well, it'll be Rosalie and Holly, and then I don't know if Thok wants to bring Nalra with us.
Yeah, we got Manu's horse, don't we?
I mean, we have to go find it. Hopefully it's by his camp.
Maybe. Well, I think we can handle 2 kids. I don't think we can handle 10 times that.
Yeah, we can figure out how to get 18 kids through a portal in 6 seconds. I think we'll do a couple test runs or something.
Am I with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Does the spell say that you have to walk, or sorry, would you have to go through, or can you just open the portal, send them through, and stay behind, and potentially do it in the span of 2 days? Do 10 one day, 10 the other day.
I mean, that's a possibility too, but that puts us at 5 total days until we get the job done.
Safer.
So
It is safer.
it's a definite possibility.
I don't think time
But-
is the biggest obstacle that we got here.
Safety is.
They got to build stuff up anyway.
Yeah.
It'll give them an extra day, which they can use it.
Cool. Let's find Alder a tree.
Yep,
I
so
look
I
around
guess
for
then
a tree.
gonna look around for
Okay.
a large tree that hopefully has a decent amount of clearing around it. It's got to be trunk has to be at least 10 feet tall to make sure that we're going to be okay for this.
Yeah.
Unless
Go
it
ahead.
doesn't have to be a tree, it could be another kind of plant, just very large.
I help him.
Go ahead and roll a nature check to see if you can find a tree big enough.
And I'm going to cast guidance on myself while doing this.
And I'm helping him look.
I'm also
So that-
helping him look.
Okay. That's
So
just
that-
regular advantage.
Just regular advantage, okay.
But Dremel's so tall.
I can see for miles.
Natural 20.
Hey.
Okay. It does take some time, but you are able to find a tree that's higher than 10 feet. However, the width of the tree is slightly smaller. It's usually to the extent of maybe like 3 feet. Or 2 feet.
Does the tree become like a 10-foot portal? This might be a DM question.
Yeah.
Let me see here. The tree, it doesn't really say. I can assume that it could be as large as it needs to be.
So this should work.
In theory, if everyone is 2 feet wide, that goes through it.
Oh, so you're saying it does have to be the width of the tree?
It would be the portal would be the width of the tree as well. Yes.
All right.
Well, I mean, we might need to keep looking because, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, Rem, you're a little bit wider than 2 feet, so.
You're not wrong. And I start to look around. Can I look for a bush, like a large bush that's like 10 feet wide?
Go ahead and roll a nature check. See if you can find a bush.
17.
17. You look around and you are able to find a wide array of bushes that kind of come up to your knees.
Sounds like DM doesn't like my plan.
No, it's not that I don't like your plan. It's just you guys gotta be realistic.
Alder, how?
Yeah.
Again, I don't know plant-based magic very much, but is there any way to like make a plant grow larger than its original size? Like I don't know what your abilities are like as a druid, but like, can you make a tree grow?
I mean, looking around, not really. I mean, I could, and then I'd take my staff, because one of the abilities of my staff is tree form. And I go ahead and put my staff into the ground, and expend 1 charge from it. And you just see a 60-foot tall, 5-foot wide tree kind of sprout out of the ground. Like, almost out of thin air. I'll be like, I mean, this is the best that I can do, but this is still my staff, so...
I mean, theoretically, it's a tree you're familiar with. You're very familiar with this tree.
Yeah. No. I get that, but then I don't know, because that kind of leaves me without my staff for days at a time. So.
Not if we're just sending the kids through by themselves and we're telling the townsfolk to prepare for their arrival. We could tell Ishiki, hey, we're sending 10 kids today, 10 kids tomorrow. Are you ready? And you can send the 10 through. Ishiki can let me know that he received them. And you're still on this side of the tree with your staff.
So are you basically saying then we ride there on horse, then ride back on horse?
No, we'd have to find a return tree. If we don't, then unfortunately that may be the possibility as well.
Oh.
Unless, can anyone fly?
while they're talking, is there any sort of animal around me, like a squirrel or a boar or anything?
Go ahead and roll a perception check or investigation. You're looking for an animal. Any particular animal you're looking for?
No, just like some sort of beast.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. 19.
Yeah, you're able to see a little chipmunk in one of the trees.
All right. Seeing the chipmunk, I cast Speak with Animals on myself.
Okay.
Carlos, the chips are really loud. Or
Oh, my
whoever's
bad.
doing it. Just a heads up. All right, so I cast Speak with Animals. And I'm going to walk up to the chipmunk and ask him where the largest tree he knows of is. And if he can help us find a tree that is bigger than me.
And okay, let's see what they're.
Do you
Oof.
want me to read it for you?
No, I got it.
Okay.
Oh, I got it. I'm just looking at the stats for a chipmunk.
Come on, Chippendale.
It kind of scurries a little bit. It takes you a little bit, but it finds a tree that's fairly large. I would say maybe it's still within that 2 kind of foot range.
Well, thanks, buddy. And I put my hand out for him to yeah.
And he takes it and licks your finger.
Yeah, and I pet him with my finger.
Okay. And he scurries off into the woods.
Bye, Dale.
And then are you coming back or?
Yeah, I'm going to go back to the group and tell him that Dale didn't help. He tried his best, but his little tiny chipmunk brain couldn't do anything.
I mean, I could have told you that.
So judgmental.
It's not my first time talking with chipmunks.
Oh, damn, I should have put this helmet on him.
I don't think it works that way. I thought that thing was supposed to make you smarter.
Yeah, make the chipmunk smarter.
Yeah, but I don't think a chipmunk has the mental capacity to attune to such an item.
I think you guys are just really looking down on things that don't look like you.
There's not many things that look like me, so I don't think that's it.
And to be fair, I look up to both of you.
Oh my god, thank you.
Physically.
Yeah, I am pretty strong, thank you.
Okay. So what are we doing?
Well, in that case, I'm going to just go up to the tree that I created, since I don't think that's going to work for right now. And I'm just going to go up to it and whisper a word into the tree to turn it back into my staff.
Yeah.
And pull it back and be like, I mean, we at least have an idea for a plan, but I guess we have to figure it out from here.
What word did he whisper?
Shazam.
Don't say that. Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice?
Don't say it. Don't say it a third time. So yeah, Alder, what did you say anything in Elvish?
Yeah. What I did is I said my family name because it was my grandfather's staff.
Okay. And then Thok, were you actively trying to hear what he was saying?
Not really. Like, I was just curious.
Oh, okay. Then there you go.
Because he tried to do it so sneakily. I'm like,
Shazam.
Shazam.
Yeah, you just wanted to be
My real name, Alder Shazam.
Alder Shazam.
Grab the staff and
Dynasty.
say my name.
Would I overhear it since I know Elvish? Would it stick out to me since I'm so used to only hearing Common?
What's your perception?
Perception. Passive or plus?
Yeah, passive.
Oh, I guess passive. 11.
11.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
So, I
My
mean, you
investigation's
hear
great,
him
though.
murmur.
Alder sure likes
I
talking
mean-
to trees.
Yeah, likes talking to wood.
Say
Who
good wood.
doesn't?
Ayla now.
Okay. So now he has his staff. The three of you are convening. What next?
So should we ask Rosalie if she wants to come
I
today?
think that's the logical next step.
DM, what time is it right now? Roughly.
I would say maybe it's like 9 a.m., 10 a.m.
Oh,
Because
so
you guys
we,
got up really early.
yeah, so we can still get a full day. Well, it's still early in the day. I guess we could get a full day of travel in, but I don't know if we can round up these kids. I mean, is the plan now that we're gonna have to wrangle these 20 youngsters over for 4 days?
I mean, I wonder if anybody in this town would mind assisting, like one or two people.
I mean, they might need all hands on deck because they're still going to have 50 kids here. You got to remember that too.
True.
Well, I think maybe we stay around for a little bit, start asking around, figuring out how we can do this caravan, and head out in the morning. Give us another day for the kids to have some sense of normalcy before we uproot them from their childhood home against their will.
Yeah, but this wasn't a childhood home for every child.
Yeah, a lot of them weren't even from here.
I mean, are those the ones we're taking?
I don't know. We never determined which ones we were taking.
I guess I guess we should probably figure that out too. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just dark and brooding. I'm emotional.
No, I'm emotional.
I'm going
That was
through-
last campaign, Josh.
Yeah.
Oh shit, it's
Lighten
coming
up.
back.
I'm a barbarian.
No, I'm a barbarian.
What?
What? Yeah, I don't know how to determine which kids.
Guess it's about time for a hard talk then.
Yep.
Not it.
Not it.
I said it first.
Hey, I already had to make the call to Grace.
I don't see fingers on noses.
That's stupid.
Donner it
can
is.
do it. Donner can do it. He can pick what kid goes where.
Has anyone seen Donna this morning?
Saw him about 7 drinks deep at the bar. Back to his old
So
ways, it seems.
maybe he shouldn't be the one deciding this right now. I don't know how well he works intoxicated.
I don't think we know how well he works sober.
Solid point. I mean, we could always tag team this and see what's going to be the best route. Maybe even talk to Wymer and some of the locals to get more information to see if any of the kids are from here, and then find some of the kids that obviously are not from here, and those will be the ones we bring with us.
Yeah, I think today we should start just asking around, like you said. See who can maybe come with us. See if they can give us any sort of supplies, because not only are we corralling 20 people, we're feeding 20 people.
Yeah, I mean, that's stuff I can help with too.
Same. I can help with the food. That's not. I can prepare that for tomorrow. It's not gonna taste great, but we'll have.
What were you gonna do?
I can create food.
I believe I can do that also.
And I can do a puppet show.
I can create 45 pounds of food and 30 pounds of water,
Oh shit.
enough to sustain up to 15 humanoids or 5 steeds for 24 hours. Food is bland but nourishing and spoils if uneaten in 24 hours. The water is clean and it doesn't go bad.
I actually don't have that. I only have purify food and drink.
Well, I can cast it more than once.
Yeah.
So.
If not, I can always do good berry.
20 of them? 20
Well,
something of them?
If I casted first, actually no. I'd have to look around for some mistletoe in order to be able to do that.
Well,
Not
we'll
sure
keep
if
an eye out.
mistletoe grows around here. So
Well, I guess we should ask the people who live around here.
True.
We're off to talk to Wymer.
Jesus Christ.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Okay, so eventually the three of you search for Wymer. He's back at his tavern. The three of you kind of come in, and it's empty. And Wymer kind of turns around and goes, "Drummel, you're back."
Yep, got a couple more questions. A little more logistical.
Please ask away.
Well, we got Thok, you do it. I'm a little buzzed at this point. I ended up shooting that drink for the road. Maybe you shouldn't
Okay.
listen to my ideas right now.
I mean, my ideas aren't that great either.
We spent how long listening to your ideas just a few moments ago?
I don't know, but they were pretty good ideas. You should probably listen to me more.
So what was the final conclusion was that all of us are traveling.
Yeah, we're gonna just travel all as one in a caravan.
We go for it.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna all travel as a caravan to bring, like you said, 20 kids along with Rosalie over to White Willow. We're just gonna need some assistance, as in like the form of a cart or two to carry the kids on. If you have anything like that, we can get them affixed to our horses. And the other thing, obviously, is we're gonna need help determining which kids we bring. Obviously, I know some of these kids are from here, but we really need to know which kids aren't from here to bring with us, because the only ones we know that we're bringing are Harley, which is Rosalie's daughter, and Nalra, which she has an affinity for Thok. So
I mean, that's fair. The only thing is, I don't know which kid is from here or not. You know, I didn't really make an effort to meet all the kids in town when they
gotcha.
were here.
Do you know anyone that we could talk to that would know?
What
Probably
about
the
talking to
kids.
I was gonna say, what about asking the kids, being like, who's from here and who's not from here?
Well, this is going to be fun. All right.
I mean, they're small adults, right?
Yep. They already like Dremel, so
They
Dremel, time to
love
go talk to some
Dremel.
kids.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's your
they
time to shine.
they like my puppet shows. I don't know if they like the man behind it.
Hey,
Then start talking to them via puppet shows so that we can get some information.
Hey kids, who's not from here?
Who's different?
Who feels like they don't belong?
Oh, no, hands.
all of them.
Who?
Anyway, so what's the plan, guys?
Well, I still want to go about town trying to find out who can give us tops like supplies, carts, horses, weapons, because we need something to keep these kids safe.
I mean, we'll keep them safe.
Yeah, there's 5 of us and 4 of us and 20 of them.
21 if you count Rosalie.
Cool. That makes my point even more.
Okay. So what's the game plan?
I don't know, Thok, you explore the town, right?
I did.
Do you know of anywhere that might be worth talking to? Oh, didn't you say that your friends were going to come with us? The Silo gang?
I mean, I could ask them. They're at least giving us the silo for the time being. I don't even know who to ask. If now that Alejandro's gone, he was kind of the head of the group, really. I'll go to John, I guess.
Okay. And
And
yeah, you kind of go up to John. John is, I would say he's a little bit older, maybe mid 40s, kind of balding on the top of his head, kind of has more thicker hair to the sides, and he's in the silo with the rest of the gang and the kids. And you approach him.
hey, John, do do any of you guys mind assisting us in this journey? Like, would you be able to? I don't want to burden you with another decision, but any of you mind helping out and traveling to White Willow with us with 20 children?
Uh, I mean, that's a big ask, but I mean, I can certainly try to do it. I can try to help out.
Don't feel obligated. It's it's up to you. And in my head, I'm thinking that I'm literally going through the same thing that I went through Alejandro asking for his help, and I put him through his death, and I'm just gonna walk away.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, so, yeah, I mean, you walk away, and he ponders it. What else are you guys doing?
Do we have the food situation figured out?
Yeah, I can cast it more than once.
Yeah, we can create food while we're on the journey. It's not going to be great, but I mean, it'll do.
All
On
right,
the plus
that's
side, it'll be better than prison food. So
all we can ask for.
it's a low bar.
Nah, you did the best you could, man.
I know, they just wouldn't let me get anything good.
It was like a prison in there.
Oh, Jesus
Crazy.
Christ. You
So-
can't see me, but I am face palming. I'm very upset. I'm not face palming as some people can see, but
I was gonna say I can see it.
I am.
Yeah, I can see you.
Let me try reconnecting.
Yeah, try reconnecting it. I am so sorry. My camera, like, this is a new setup I'm doing, and my camera wire is like stretching from another table.
Oh,
So I need an extender
oh no
because I
worries,
want
man.
2 monitors.
Hey, you know what? We're doing as best as we could with the technology we have.
Exactly. Plus, you got a lot to figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't.
You don't have a dirt.
Yeah, we don't have a dirt.
Hey, we need to go and find my friend Dirt. Or Fear.
Well, we got the food figured out.
Mhm.
We need to figure out transport.
Mhm.
So let's find someone who may have carts. Let's find our horses. Make sure they're around.
I'll look around for my news horse.
Okay. Or were you just saying that to me or to the group?
Just everyone.
Great.
I'll just say that I'll look around for my news horse. Because especially after asking for a favor from John that could potentially put his life in peril, and I don't want to be around anyone right now because it hit a chord. I want to go off and find a horse and not be around anyone for a second.
Okay. And then Alder, what are you doing? You're doing the food?
No, because he's going to be doing create food and water for that.
Okay.
So that'll be something that we'll be able to do on our own. I would really just be, at this point, I would just be trying to assist where I can.
Okay. So we'll follow Thok. Thok, go ahead and roll a survival check. See if you can find some horse tracks.
Survival. Ooh, 24.
Ooh. Okay. With the 24, you are able to see that amongst different horse hoof prints, you see ones that are larger. That you could probably guesstimate. You saw Manu's horse. It was fucking big. So you start following the trail, and eventually going through the overpasses and whatnot, you kind of see Manu's horse grazing in the grass.
I'm gonna walk up to it as calm and as possible and be like, "Hey, buddy." And,
Go ahead and roll an animal handling check there, bud.
I mean, it's not bad.
I hope Justin roleplays a horse.
22.
It kind of makes eye contact with you the best it can, and as you kind of go over to it, it doesn't look like it's tensing up or anything like that. And you kind of put your hand on its side, and it kind of acknowledges you and goes back to grazing. You see that it kind of has this blackened leather saddle that, if you weren't really looking at it, because this horse is almost like not just black, but almost negative black.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is a black color that is.
It's
like
almost like the shadow of a horse versus just a horse.
it's a very dark horse.
Vanta black.
Yeah, and it has different reins in the bit, but yeah, you see kind of different carvings in the leather work. It looks like it's a very handsome saddle, and there's occasional things on it, but it doesn't look like there's an occasional dagger or wineskin. Nothing substantial.
Okay. And I'm gonna get a bunch of like grass and feed him and kind of like pet him, and then start seeing if I can. Does he have reins on him? Like,
Yeah. He has reins on him.
I'll grab onto the reins and see if I can have him come with me.
You're able to kind of. He eats the grass in your hand, and as you start to kind of lead him off, he follows.
And I'll just keep petting him as we go,
Okay.
thinking of what. In my head, I'm thinking of what happened to Manu and the millions of questions that I still have unanswered in my head.
Yeah. Okay. And eventually you get back to the silo and civilization. Drem, Alter, you guys doing anything in particular while Thok is getting a horse?
I want to go around town looking for carts, something to carry everyone.
Okay.
Yeah. Makes sense.
You coming with me, Alder?
Yes, indeed.
Hell yeah, brothers.
Yeah, Bass Brothers, right?
Bash brothers.
It takes you a good chunk, like 40 minutes to find different kinds of carts of different sizes, but there is a larger one that you see by one of the stables. It's currently covered in hay, but it looks like it is used to transport large quantities of hay.
Well, this one might work.
Yeah, definitely looking at it, it's durable, so I think it can hold the vast majority of everybody.
Do we
Might be a little bit tight, but
tight's better than walking.
it's true.
Do we see a house or a barn or someone who may own the cart?
Yeah, I mean there's definitely a stable. Like there's a house attached to the stable, so you could assume it belongs to someone.
All right. Well, we should probably ask if we can borrow it then.
I think that's a good idea. Not it.
Shit. Got foiled by my own game.
It happens to the best of us.
All right, so I'll walk.
And
go.
As he goes to talk to them, I'm gonna just tap him on the back and cast guidance just in case he needs to persuade somebody. So try and help out.
Do I catch that? Like, do I know what he's doing?
Um, I mean, have Alder's given you guidance or blessing before, so you could assume, or he's just giving you a friendly pat on the back.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, man.
The.
So you go to the door and you knock on it, and eventually this kind of I would say maybe he's in his 30s. He has a brownish beard, stands at about 6'1", a little bit portlier. Looks at you and he goes, "Yeah, can I help you?"
Hey, my name's Dremel. I'm sure you're aware of everything that's been going on in this town.
Yeah.
So there are 70 orphans now. Just gonna cut straight to it. 20 of them aren't gonna stay here. We need a way to get them to the next town over. And saw you got a mighty fine card out there. Was hoping we could use that for a few days.
How long are you going to keep the cart for?
Well, should take us about 4 days to get there. We're caravanning 20 young adults, little humans, and I guess we can bring it back right after that. Much faster than 4 days. So I'd wager about a week.
A week. And this is the largest cart I have, and I spent a lot of money on buying it. How am I gonna know I'm gonna get it back?
Well, we can sit down, have a nice conversation, get to know me, see into my inner soul. I'll see into the windows to the soul that are your eyes, and you'll know that you can trust me. Flash from a big
And I'm just in the
smile.
back. I'm just in the
You
background, like,
keep smiling at him, and he goes, I've been here for 10 years, and I just lost 2 years of my life to someone who was very friendly and made a lot of promises, and now I'm here.
I mean, you're more than welcome to come with us.
Just going to take after my animals.
I don't know. Got anyone else around?
It's not the point. I'm not traveling to some other place so you can use my cart.
But think of all the fun we'd have. When you're 80 and on your deathbed, are you going to look back and remember, oh, there was that time I was going to go on an adventure and I didn't?
2 years of my life. I'm set on adventuring.
You stayed here.
You killed the thing, right?
Yeah.
Staying here.
What do you want?
I don't know. I am an honest man, and considering we haven't been exchanging coin for a very long time, I'm going to assume business is going to be coming in, and perhaps I'd like to buy things from my farm. Maybe you have some money you can give me?
I got a little bit. I got the coin that brought us here, and that's about it. What seems fair to you, honest man?
Something gold. I think gold can go a long way. Well, I paid. If you give me 20 gold, you can keep the cart.
What if I don't want the cart?
we just need to borrow it for a week.
And he looks over and looks behind, and he goes, once again, not that I don't trust you, but I don't fucking trust you. I need
What
to
if
at
we
least,
gave-
if you destroy my cart, get rid of my cart, throw it on fire, because trouble seems to find you.
Well,
I
that's
need to
not
know
necessarily true, because we came to this town and trouble was already here. So, like, just saying. Anyways, what if we gave you the 20 gold as collateral, and then when we bring your cart back, you give it back to us?
And he kind of crosses his arms and okay, but what if I get to keep 5 gold when you get back for renting my cart?
3 gold and you got a deal.
4.
Fine.
Okay. And he gestures over to this giant cart full of hay, and he goes, "I will take the 20 gold and I will put it right in this purse."
Fantastic.
On today's episode of Shark Tank,
Art of the deal.
Pocket dogs.
Pocket dogs.
So eventually you give him the 20 golds and
Oh, whoa.
puts-
I'm not giving him the
okay.
gold until we leave.
Okay.
But before we go, I do want to ask. Also, what's your name? First off, what's your name? As I put my hand out to shake it.
Vernon. And he puts out his hand and he takes it.
Vernon. This may seem like an odd question, but after this charm was lifted, how's your memory?
It's fine.
You remember everything before?
I've been here 10 years, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I will, as soon as we get ready to head out and have horses to carry that carriage, I'll bring you your money.
Okay. See you soon. And you see him and he goes back into his his house and you hear the door close.
All right, I'll miss you.
Hello.
Jag off. Some
So,
damn good negotiating, Alder.
I mean, you got to make them feel like they won a little bit at the end, right?
You're not wrong. Maybe you should write a book.
Yeah, something about how good deals can be.
Yeah, and how it's kind of an art form.
Yeah, call it like the pageantry of the deal.
Yeah, the pageantry of the deal. I like the way that sounds.
Sounds good and fancy and not at all fake.
Doc, what are you doing? As you're bringing the horse back.
I'm bringing the horse back. And when I'm comfortable with the horse, I'm gonna see if I can ride it. Cause why not?
Okay, go ahead and roll another animal handling check. See if you can mount the horse.
I'm gonna cast guidance before I get on this horse on myself. Just in case. 15? No. 17, sorry.
Okay. So you put one foot in and you kind of swing your hips over and you feel the horse kind of tense up very briefly and then it just kind of relaxes for a moment as it stands there.
And I'm gonna take my time and still pet it and kind of like reassure it that it's okay. And I'm gonna start trotting, not running, but at a easy pace.
Okay, so you're
Heading
just kind of
back.
trail walking.
And I would I can't remember if y'all told me where the hell you were going. I don't think so. I think I just walked off. So
Yeah, we didn't
I guess
even
I
know
would-
where we were going.
I guess I would go around town looking for these two.
Okay, so you kind of come back into town and everyone is just staring at this horse. It is, once again, it's a massive fucking horse. It's this black horse, very wide. And you were definitely getting looks from different people. Maybe some of them recognize this horse. Eventually you are able to kind of find Dremel and Alder as they're kind of walking back from looking for carts. And Dremel and Alder, you see Thok on this massive horse.
I think he
Ooh-wee.
found it.
Man, I
Yeah.
forgot how big this horse was.
Yeah, he's pretty big. I mean, I guess it'll help to see if he can carry the cart. Like, attach it to the cart, maybe.
Yeah, I mean the
Oh
cart we
wait, I don't
found
know
is
about the
damn
cart.
big.
So we can do that. I mean, I feel mildly responsible for this horse now. I don't know. I feel bad that its rider essentially just got incinerated. Does that make Is that the right word?
It's not the wrong word.
I don't know, but I don't know. Something feels wrong about just leaving the horse. Like I feel like I'm responsible for it.
I mean, if you don't take
No,
it, it's just gonna run wild, be alone. I think you found
Yeah,
yourself a new horse.
maybe.
I mean, we have to give back the ones that we brought over here, don't we?
that's true.
Well, maybe Rosalie can ride one with Harley.
Definitely. We'll need that.
Because how many did we bring over? Was it 4?
Yep, full
Oh.
horses.
We each had a horse. Yeah. So now we have 5. So I guess that'll help.
So we got the transport
Um,
figured out. We got the food figured out. What did the silo boys say about acting as protection?
I threw the idea out there, but I didn't feel comfortable uh, asking for an answer right away.
All right, so that's an iron in the fire. Can y'all think of anything else we're forgetting aside from the kids?
I guess we need to go talk to the kids and then just find Donna and
Be on our merry way.
yep. Which I guess will be first thing in the morning.
Think so? Well, I mean, should we go back since we're already out? Should we go back and grab the cart? You want to wait until tomorrow? There was a lot of hay. I guess it could probably use a bit of a tidy up.
Gonna be completely honest, I don't think Vernon's gonna do that for us.
Oh, I meant us. That's why I'm asking if we should
Oh
take
yeah.
it.
Yeah, might as well.
I mean, might as well prep it now tonight, and then we're ready to go tomorrow.
How long has it been since we left Vernon's house?
I would say it's been about 30 minutes or so of you guys just kind of meandering.
All right. Then hearing where this conversation's going, I'm gonna say, well, shit, he's gonna be mad at me
Why?
Well,
because I told him we weren't taking the cart today. Now I've got to go back, and he's already mad at me. He's got this look of anger in his eyes.
we could just go back later tonight. It's not that big of a deal right now.
All right. Yeah, we'll wait until he's in the middle of dinner.
I mean,
the
that's,
most opportune time.
that's usually when I love conversation, so
We know he's home. Maybe he'll feed us.
I wouldn't count on that.
Yeah, not with that attitude.
I'll make sure to cast protection from poison before he does.
Smart man.
So are you going back to
My first
Vernon's right now?
rodeo.
No, I think we're going we're going back to the silo, and later tonight we'll head to Vernon's. Right?
Okay,
Did I get
so-
that right, guys?
Sorry, you cut out.
Yeah.
We're gonna head back to the silo now, and later tonight's
Okay.
when we'll go to Vernon's pick up the cart.
Okay. So we'll speed it up a bit. The rest of the day is pretty lackluster. You get back to the silo and you see all the different little kids kind of running around and walking around. It looks like they're getting a little bit more acclimated to the silo. Eventually the evening comes and Dromo, you begrudgingly go back up to Vernon, and the exchange is very prickly at best, but he has agreed to have you guys pick it up in the morning or picking it up the next day. And then anything else that you're particularly doing?
We just need to figure out which kids are coming with us, which I'm assuming you just kind of sped over that, so that way we know.
No, I wanted to get over the that role play aspect. But
Gotcha.
The other thing that I do want to be doing throughout the night is anyone we come in contact with, just find out if they're missing any memories or not.
Okay. Let me see here. Over the course, you talk to about 25, 30 different people, and all of them have a resounding, yeah, I remember everything.
And that's included level 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Everyone has their memories intact. Eventually, when you kind of get back to the silo, I'm assuming Alder and Thok, you're still within the silo for a majority of the day. Drummel, you kind of look up and you see the top of the silo and you see a figure sitting on the top of the silo, and you just see a head going back, and then you see an arm just kind of throw this glass bottle, and there's a moment of hang time, and then you just hear a shh.
Donner, don't throw glass.
Well, it's not like what? It's not going to hit anyone. Everyone's in the silo.
Yeah, but what if someone's walking out there?
What? Only you are walking out here.
What if it hits a bird? Am I right, Alder? You're mad about this too.
You're saying this outside of the silo?
Aldo's not with you.
Oh, I thought we were inside of it.
No, you're outside of it as you're walking back from Verdon's.
Okay.
Please do an impression of Alder.
Don't hit the birds, please. I care about the birds and the other animals. I'm also small and weak.
And he goes, yeah, no, you are pretty small and weak. I'm sorry, Alder.
Oh, no problem. Thank you so much. See you inside.
I think I'm going to nap out here.
Have a good nap then.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen the stars in a bit. You see him, and he kind of puts his hands behind his head as you see him kind of crane back, like kind of hitched up. Okay, so you kind of go back in, and the three of you convene there. What are we doing?
So do we have the cart now?
Were you bringing the cart, or were you getting it the next day?
My understanding was getting it tonight and then cleaning it up.
Yeah, you're able to bring the cart. You do have to leave the hay there, so he does give you a pitchfork, and it is busy work and it sucks, but you're eventually able to clear the cart out after, I would say, a few hours, like maybe an hour or two.
This wasn't part of the deal.
Yeah, I know. I didn't say you could. I'd give you the cart clean.
Touche, Mr. Wordman.
Not my last name.
What's your last name?
Do you care?
Yeah.
Evans.
Huh.
And you see him and he spits and he goes back into his house.
I feel like that's not his real last name. Saying this to myself, clearly.
Yeah.
Roll an insight check.
Roll in. No. Check his wallet. Son of a bitch.
Check his ID.
He's an organ donor?
What a good guy.
What a great guy. Heart of gold.
Heart of gold.
Yeah, you're able to kind of wheelbarrow the cart back over, and you park it outside of the silo as kind of. You see Drummel, and his hair's all disheveled. He's got odd pieces of hay and straw just kind of in his beard jutting out. And looks a little dirty, like he did some busy work, and it doesn't look like he does a lot of that. A lot of manual labor.
I'm gonna, as we're cleaning this thing for like thematics, I would like create water and grab some straw and start
using the create water to have water and scrub and clean the cart as much as I can.
So yeah, you take your time, and you're able to kind of clean the cart. Throughout the day, different kids have been coming out to look at the horse and petting the horse because it's a really cool looking horse. And yeah, they occasionally ask like questions like, "Is this how tall as he's gonna be? Does his hair get really long? What's his name?"
Those are all good questions. Hey Alder, what's the horse's name? Can you ask him?
And then I'll just go to the horse and be like, kind of just touch him on the side of the face. I'll be like, what's your name, big fella?
And you're casting Speak with Animals.
It's just one of my abilities. I don't actually have to cast it. It's the Speech of the Woods. You learn to speak, read, and write Sylvan. Beasts can understand your speech, and you gain the ability to decipher their noises and motions. So I should be able to understand what he's saying.
You kind of
But
just
if you'd rather me cast Speak with Animals, I can do that
No,
through
that's up to you, dude.
my staff.
he kind of you ask him what his name is, and he kind of looks at you and kind of huffs at you and continues to kind of chew.
I'm gonna go ahead and assume that his name is not interested.
Horse pleasantries.
It's okay.
And I'll just kind of be like, come on. We're going to be spending time together. Might as well get to know one another. And then I'll like summon Aya and I'll just be like, and just have her fly down and be like, this is my hawk Aya.
And you kind of see the horse eye you, and then Aya huffs again, goes back to eating.
Tough crowd. Well,
Anything else you guys are doing? Besides horse whispering?
now we'll call it a day there with the horse whisperer.
Okay. Anything else we're doing for tonight, or are you guys going to bed?
Would we have already figured out which kids are going where?
You could. You kind of go to, at one point, you all kind of like convene and corral all the kids into the silo. And you're like, all right, how many live here and how many of you don't live here? And they all kind of like look, and you can't hear them because the voices are still like janked up. So you're like, all right, if you're from here, raise your hand. If you're not, don't raise your hand. So after a bit, you're able to kind of count how many kids are from there, and you get 31
That are not from there.
that are from there.
That are from there. Okay.
Jesus.
That's 39 kids.
39 kids that are not from here. Should we see if any of them are from Sungulf?
I can ask Nalra to see if she recognizes any of them from Flamingo Bay.
Okay, you could try to do that.
Yeah, I'd say ask about Sungulf and then ask about Flamingo Bay and see how many we can get from there.
Okay. You start interviewing kids. Let me see here. So that is, 39 different kids. Okay. You do get a few different places that they're from. There are some children you find out are from Vestergaard. You find that some of them are from the Flamingo Bay. Some kids lived in Driftwood Harbor. There are a few from Yetvin. And there are the occasional sprinkles of Valoria.
Vestergaard, Flamingo Bay, Yetvin, Driftwood. What was Driftwood? What?
I'm sorry. There is Driftwood Harbor,
Okay.
Yetfin, Vestergaard, and I said Flamingo Bay and Valoria, correct?
Mhm.
Okay.
And then I'll be like, well, I mean, I live just outside of Yetvin, so if we can kind of keep the Yetvin kids in one area, we might be able to get them back towards their home if we ever go back to where I'm from.
All right. How many Yevon kids are there?
Out of the Yetfin kids of the 39, sorry, give me one moment.
No,
Because I
you
think
good.
the Yetvin kids and the Flamingo Bay kids, since those are at least we know we're going to Flamingo Bay for
9 of
Nalra.
them are from Yetfin.
All right, Flamingo Bay.
Hold on. I have to actually do math here. Flamingo Bay, 17.
Oof.
Oof.
And that's including Naldra.
That's including Aldra. Okay.
What is it? Is it Naldra or Nalra? I thought it was Nalra.
Naldra.
I spelled that wrong.
Me too. Well,
I'm committing to it.
Okay, so Naldra. Then if you don't mind, the rest of the totals from the other 3 areas.
Let me see here. There is one from the Driftward Harbor.
real quick, wouldn't it also be at a 69 because one of them is from Sun Gulf
Because one of them are,
or from
I mean-
White Willow? Rose.
I mean,
Rosalie's
technically
daughter?
Harley is from White Willow.
Yeah, but she was
So-
part of the 70, right?
Yeah, she was part of the 70.
Okay.
So one in White Willow. Let's see here. We have 7 from Valoria. And the rest are from Yetvin. Or no, Yetvin, Flamingo, Driftwood, White, and Valoria. Those were the 4.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
Vestergaard's the last one.
Vestergaard, got it. So the rest are from Vestergaard.
Would I have heard of Driftwood being a harbor?
I would say you've heard of Driftwood. You haven't been to Driftwood, but you do know of the harbor.
Okay.
I would almost say then we got 17 from Flamingo Bay, 1 from White Willow. That puts us at 18. 1 from Driftwood Harbor, that's 19, and then just one other one who's kind of an oddball that we take.
I think it's a bad idea to break up any of these groups.
I think so too. That's why I don't like the way that I said it. I don't think I said that with any conviction at all. I think if we can leave that one overflow and only take 19 kids with us, I think that would be best.
So we're taking Flamingo Bay, Driftwood Harbor, White Willow, and
Yeah, then.
I mean, we could leave
Yetvin's
the
9.
we could leave the Yetvin here.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to break
Yeah.
down the numbers for you again? Because I have them down.
I got 4 in Vestergaard, 17 Flamingo Bay, 9 in Yetvin, 7 Valoria, 1 Driftwood Harbor, 1 White Willow.
Mm-hmm.
I take notes.
Me too.
I try to.
I'm
I
gonna
fail.
vote we take 17 Flamingo Bay, Driftwood Harbor, White Willow, and the Vestergaard.
So that'll be a little bit more than 20 then. That'll be
It'll be 22.
20.
22 plus Rosalie's daughter.
Well, as it is, she's taking care of Naldra.
Oh,
So
so 21. That's
So
close
it's
enough.
it's just one extra kid. I'm sure they can find home for one kid.
I think we can do that.
So yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Okay. So as you guys kind of organize for the night, anything that you're doing after dinner time?
I am gonna say my goodnights to everyone
Okay.
and kind of go on my own and read the book that I got from Manu's tent, just to get to know him better.
Okay. It takes you a few, I would say maybe an hour or two, just kind of thumbing through as you're kind of reading and getting a feel for them. More towards the beginnings of the Dear Sister letters. You see and you feel a very hopeful, charismatic kind of person, that they are doing their best, that they're going to join the guard and make their family proud, that they're going to come back and be the uncle that he promised he was going to be. And then as you get further into it and as it gets more frantic, there's a shift. I can't explain it now, but this is going to be good for us in the future, I promise. And I have to do some things, but I don't want you to think less of me. And it continues until finally it gets to that final passage that you saw, which was I don't know why, but I need to wait in this town. Hopefully the person I'm waiting for comes and I can be with you sooner.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else, babies?
Before I go to bed, I would just want to go outside and try and like, not necessarily, actually no, I wouldn't have to go outside. I just would take that piece of Eliaris iron out of my bag and just kind of look at it and just kind of like basically thumb over the
stamp.
embezzle, the stamp in it. Mm-hmm.
It's heavy and it's very cold to the touch. You being around it for a while, you're accustomed to it, but it's been a long time since you've actually held it. And this isn't more of a raw form. This is more of a older version of any kind of design that they would use. You can tell that this was a lot not further in the mine. It was a lot shallower. That this is kind of where they first started out, that maybe it's about 90 years old. Definitely not anything that you've heard of in recent years, but it is what it says it is.
Yeah.
And it's very surprising that it's reached this far out.
So, I mean, that kind of gives me a little bit of an idea of, so hold please.
Okay.
I mean, does that mean where, I guess you really can't answer this question, but does it seem like the area that I'm in is that far from Falsera?
It could be.
Well, just because you said that, it's surprising to see it out this far.
Well, it's surprising to see like I wouldn't say this is a Pavern town, but that metal is usually in upscale. Like you would definitely see it in like Valoria or a major city, not Sun Gulf.
Gotcha. So it's like the Swarovski crystals of metalwork.
Yes, if you want to break it down like that.
It's good China.
China.
Okay, no, because that's what it confused me at first. Is I'm like, I mean, I didn't know we were that far away from Falsera, but then again, I have no idea where we are. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. And I'm not necessarily like sneaking as I do that. So if anyone observes me, that's there.
Okay. Dram, what you doing, bud?
I would have just been putting on another show for the kids. It's something I'm going to try to keep up just to keep their spirits high in this time tumultuous change.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a performance check for me at advantage.
First one. All right, what's performance? 14.
14. You can keep them fairly engaged. And at one point, one of them shouts, Mr. Drummel, can you tell us a story?
Oh, boy. Sure, kid. What do you want the
And
story to be about?
They kind of clamor up and they go, can you tell a story about, I don't know, I'm not, and they get, the boy gets a little shy and he goes, I don't know any good stories. Do you know any good stories?
And I'll just like, do I hear this interaction?
Yeah, you can hear it like from outside. You kind of hear just this rustling, and the light show and the explosions have definitely died down, but you hear Dremel talking. So
And I'll just kind of turn around and I'll be like, tell them the story about a bird named Paul.
Paul. Oh, man, what a great... I don't know if you want to hear about Paul. Hey, kid, what's your name?
and sorry, give me one sec. He goes, Comrade.
Conrad. Let me tell you the story about the hero Conrad.
Okay.
Am I actually telling the story?
You don't have to tell the story.
Okay. Well, in the end, he kills Paul.
If you would like to tell the story, Josh, of how he kills
Please.
Paul, I would like to hear that now.
All right, let me see what let me try.
Yeah.
Long ago, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, there was a big, big black bird of pure evil. He went from town to town, terrorizing nice, large, cow-looking people. Yeah, he's a bad guy. And this went on for years and years. Towns developed rituals to keep him at bay. Every year they'd have a bunch of berries that they would have to give out. And it was bleeding these towns dry. So one day, this young man named Conrad decided, you know what? Just because it's been like this for a long time doesn't mean it has to stay this way. So he decides to get a group of friends. He gets, hey kid, what's your name?
One of them goes, Pindaris.
Gets his friend Pindaris and, hey little girl, what's your name?
Francisca.
Francisca.
Yeah.
And what was the other one?
Prodaris.
Prodaris. And Francisca. And the three of them begin a long, long journey. They cross the giant red bridge, the small blue mountain, and they finally end up at the green nest. And that's where the three of them together slay Paul, the piece of shit bird. The end.
And all of them kind of gasp when you say shit, and they all giggle. And they're like, he said shit. I think we'll end it there with Paul, the piece of shit bird.
Paul, a piece of shit, bird.
Like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you are following on Twitch, please subscribe, follow. That way you can know when we're up and running. Josh, do you want to give shout outs?
I sure do. Gonna give a big old shout out to another TV viewer, Atten, Billikiers, Commander Root, Electrical Longboard, Hallie W _, and Reality Rachel. Also, another shout out to DLV Jose. He gave us 5 bits. Cheers. 5 cheers.
Hey, bits.
So thanks a lot, Jose.
Awesome.
He is also a streamer, so give him a watch. He streams Tuesday, Thursday generally around 8 o'clock. If you come here, we also host him, so you'll see him here Thursday. So don't watch him on Tuesday because that's when we stream. But otherwise, he's a wonderful guy. English, Spanish, video games, programming, sometimes a little design. So
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye, everyone.
Oh, you can't say that.
Bye. What?